Hi guys, welcome back to the show. Today we're doing the Final Fight trilogy. I played the first Final Fight game as a child, and I remember it was brutal. It was brutally hard. And that was just the first game. I'll come back to it now. I realised something, and I didn't expect it. Let's talk about that. I got Final Fight 1 on the SNES, right? It's a game I wanted. I heard about it. I was like, I love Streets of Rage. Let's get another one. Let's see. So I did. So I got it, I don't know, 13, 14 years ago, I guess. I guess. I got home, played it, and my word, it was hard. It was so hard. Why did they make it this hard? You had a small amount of lives, limited continues, which started you right back at the beginning of the level, and these levels are not short, right? And the enemies are ridiculous. The bosses are solid. It's crazy, right? And then on top of it, they re-released the same game with a new character, Guy. Even though I prefer Cody in this game, but Guy. It's like, how can you make people pay for it again just to have him? So I can't even compare this to the SNES beat 'em ups because this is the only trilogy of beat 'em ups that I played on the SNES. That's Double Dragon, but we get into that again. This is like the next step up, and it's very tied into Street Fighter. I'm just thinking out loud now. It really is. I could tell you why the SNES version is hard though. If you played it, you're like, oh my word, what's going on? It's because it's a direct port of the arcade version. And the reason it's hard is because they don't want you to be completing that game with little amount of money, do they? They want you to keep lobbing them pounds and then cents and them dollars in. They want to keep you hooked and to beat it. So the more you pay, the further you get. They don't want you to get far about paying. And then they directly ported that game onto the SNES, and that's what we're left with. So replaying it today, right? I I played the SNES version. I could not do it. So so I researched. I got a Sega CD. I was like, on, how much is it? Bought it. Too hard. Easier, but too hard. And the cutscenes are much better in the Sega CD. And then I gave up. And then I was in bed and I was like, oh, I really want to do that Final Fight trilogy, but how? Let's just see what else is on. Game Boy Advance. Now I own the game on Game Boy Advance, but I don't know how to stream it, so I had to emulate it on the Game Boy Advance. And that was the feeling like, I'll give it a go. It's not going to hurt. And it felt so much fairer. It was such a fairer game. It made it actually enjoyable. Yeah, it made me enjoy it. And that's the version I recommend you play, by the way, because it does look better. I don't know if it looks as good as the Sega CD one. The cutscenes are better than the SNES version. The Sega CD is better because they've got voice acting. But let's talk about what I experienced with the GBA version today and the SNES one back in the day. Let's leave the Sega CD one out because I ain't got any footage for that. So the character sprites, they still look good. You know, you're getting what you expect. They won't hold up today, but it didn't annoy me that I played through the first game as Cody. It didn't annoy me. Um, the combos were good, but you're very limited on moves. So you learn the punch, 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 the throw 'em technique. That works, and that works well. The music in this game in the Game Boy Advance version anyway, annoyed me. It didn't feel like it fitted with the game. It was too loud. You probably could turn it down, but why would you need to? You shouldn't need to turn it down. What are they doing? What are they trying to achieve? They was achieving annoying me with the sound of the music. It was annoying. But then you go through the stages, and it's nice that you got a map of where you go, so you feel like you're actually going through the city to the boss hideout in this game. Whereas with Streets of Rage, I'm comparing because why wouldn't you? You end up on a beach halfway through the game. You go through some alien arcades. You go through fun fairs. It's all a bit like, whoa, I'm going for a proper wonder just to get to that building. Whereas this game, you got a you got more of a direction to where you're going, and that's the only way it beats Streets of Rage. I didn't like the repetition of the moves, because it was this is the first game that I'm talking about, right? It was like just punching and a throw, and it got really annoying, really annoying. Um, like I said, the SNES one was too hard. GBA one, right, isn't easy, but I completed it, so it's completable for the average gamer. There's people watching this like, what are you on about? Dead easy. I'm not talking to you because you're too good at computer games. I'm talking to the average person, right? Or someone with slow reflexes like me because I'm getting old. Not you, young people. And if there's young people out there that want a challenge, do it. It's a challenge. Play the SNES one. Play it hard. See how far you get. Um, the thing that the Game Boy Advance version did put right compared to the SNES one is there's a enemy called 2P, right? And he gets in the rhythm of punching you, you can't move until you die. And it is annoying. And they put that in their bot on purpose. They just did, just to annoy the crap out of you in the arcade, so you spend more money. They saw that in the GBA, and that's something I remember as a childhood that I don't think I got past level 2 as a child. I was like, nah, this is too hard. Back to Streets of Rage. So if I was to say to you what version to play, is obviously the Game Boy Advance version. Unless you're a hardcore gamer, play the SNES version or the Sega CD because that is the most polished version of the game. Um, you get three characters. You get Hagar, who's the mayor, the wrestler, a bit like Kane. Yeah. Cody and Guy. I used Cody. Let's just talk about who you're saving. Elizabeth, I think it is. They didn't hold back on what she looked like, did she? You know what I mean? You wanted to be her boyfriend. That's why you chose Cody. It was something else. It's like, what? Yeah. No, that's as far as I'm saying about that. So, did this first game live up to my memories? Yeah. Yeah, it did. It was solid. It was absolutely brutal. And there's nothing. I I nearly stopped doing the Final Fight trilogy because of it. It's only because I was in bed and I was thinking, and I thought, let's have a look at other ones. And there's a Game Boy Advance version. It's called Final Fight 1. And that's the only reason I got this trilogy done. Now, let's move on to Final Fight 2. I never played this as a child. I played this in my 20s out of interest. And it's a much better game. Much better. I don't remember much of it in my 20s. I didn't play it for long. I didn't have the patience because I was young. I wanted to have fun and not just sit down playing games all day. I don't play games all day now, but I got my coffee. But you know what I mean? It's now I have a bit of time. My wife's in work, my kids are in school. I work twilight shift, so I get to do this. And so I put Final Fight 2 in and to do this trilogy. And I was surprised pleasantly. It's a fun game. I chose to be the girl. Wait a minute. No idea what her name is, but you see everything when she does a upwards kick. Don't know how they got away with that. But yeah, she's really good. And then halfway through the game, I used to continue, and I thought I'd try the guy out with the sword. No idea what his name is. Absolutely rubbish. Oh, he annoyed me. I went back to the girl when I lost again. I used the second continue because I couldn't use him. She was so much better, so much better, and it was an actually a great game. I don't know why I didn't play it for longer when in my 20s. I think it was because I was just too busy wanting to see what it was like rather than completing the game. But I'm so happy that I finished Final Fight 1 whilst I have done this and I've got to experience an actual good game. It doesn't compare to Streets of Rage 2. It just don't. But it does compare to Streets of Rage 1. I think this game is better than Streets of Rage 1. And then we moved to Final Fight 3, where it introduces Guy, who I was. Last game. I was so surprised. It's the best one out of the three. If you disagree, let me know. Don't think you will. How can you? It is a great, great game. I can't believe it. The graphics are not as good. Your sprites are smaller. Um, but you're going up, you're going down, you're going right. You don't go left on these games. But the enemies are better. Your moves are better. You got more moves. You got like this awesome running move. It's the easiest out of all three of them by far, by the way. But I was playing it and I really enjoyed it. I got to the end of it. I was like, oh, wish there was a few more levels. I was well happy. I was in my element. I, I played these. When you're watching this, right, don't go thinking that I played these games on separate days. No, no, no. I played these back to back. And this playthrough you're seeing is me playing them back to back. And when I got to that third game, I was fatigued, right? Of just these same repetitive moves. That number two's got a few more, but it's still very repetitive. I've got to number three, and I had this repetitive fatigue. It changed me. It lightened me up. It made me feel like, yeah, I could do this now. I was so happy. So I did it, and yeah, that is a game. If you only had time to play one of these games, you're an average gamer. Final Fight 3. If you had time to play one of these games, you wanted a proper challenge. Final Fight 1, and that means that Final Fight 2 is just a alright game. But for me, Final Fight 3 every day of the week. Graphically, all three games are SNES games, so they're all good for their time. They're not good for now. They're very limited. They were limited in moves compared to Streets of Rage 1, apart from the third game. So very limited. On number 3, you get specials on all of them, but then they're quite crap, and you have to press jump and hit together. A SNES had 4 buttons and 2 triggers. Why can't they use one of them for the special move? You probably could map it in, but why wasn't that a standard? Annoying. But yeah, I enjoyed these games. This review isn't as long today. I don't know why. But there you have it. That is my review of Final Fight Trilogy. It's not a review, it's a conversation. I used review because I said to myself, do not say review. Because I'm not giving it scores, I'm not giving it facts. I'm just giving you my experiences. This is a conversation of the Final Fight Trilogy. And I hope you will comment your thoughts, your experiences, and if you agree or disagree with anything. Because I want to know, and I want to read them, and I want to see what you're saying. And then I'm going to get involved in the response. And I want to thank you for actually supporting me this far. This series is doing much better than I thought it was going to. Like and comments, always. Subscriptions, please. And keep coming back. Every Friday, 7 o'clock, new video. It'll either be a long play or memories. It's alternating, okay? Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.